forgot to. So just to reiterate that CityNet has signed their contract with UPRR, and we don't yet have the dates of when those cleanups will be happening, but CityNet will be working closely with those clients.
Yes, definitely. That's correct.
So, Joao, did you have a question?
Yes, Al, have they started working out in Goleta, UP?
Yeah, not from my understanding, not UPRR. I believe Caltrans has already started those clearing ups, because I know I got an update from our staff, and we had let Lucille and Chuck know that those have begun to happen. And a lot of the individuals that were in the Caltrans area started moving some of their belongings, and now it's in the UPRR area. So, we're trying to support them. We were out there this week multiple times and offering shelter and seeing what we can store. Lucille's been very supportive in being able to, provide storage for the area, and even willing to buy some bins, those big black and yellow lid bins, to be able to keep any belongings that we can for the up to 90 days. We've signed up 2 other people, in the areas, and that's the same thing we'll be doing for the east side.
Any major issues you guys have come across out there?
Thankfully, no major issues, but there has, some of the individuals didn't really want to, communicate with us at the time, and nothing like that. They'd say they didn't want any services moving forward, or it was just obviously going through the actual motion of it. The level of concern was a little bit higher, that they weren't really interested in engaging at the time. But we did have a couple of those, and a couple that are possibly on the fence with accepting shelter, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I appreciate your proactive work on that. Any questions with regard to UPRR Caltrans cleanups? So I think we'll transition to just talking, hearing updates from the providers about the Eastside neighborhood. So we'll start with CityNet. If you could just update us on any actions that you've been taking in the Eastside region over the last week.
So over the last week, we provide our usual outreach. And Monday, Milpas area, Wednesday, waterfront, and like I said, some of the tracks in that area. We have, like I said, been making multiple engagements with, non-clients, and trying to just continue building that rapport and outreach contacts. We do have, looks like 2 other current contacts that are probably going to be enrolling here fairly soon. We have 1 city bed available right now. So we are looking to, get that filled up. And one thing I want to let just the community know, we do try to utilize that last bed for like PD and like, emergency type of bed. But of course, we never want to turn anyone away if they are looking to obviously, accept shelter and be there long term. So that bed is still available. We do like to keep it, like I said, that available for that emergency thing, whether it's Joe out in the city or whether a community member or PD is looking to utilize that. And then with the clients, with the city, we've been working really closely with Pat on those ones that we've removed from the east side and Cacique, with continued case management. We got an update from Pat that they'll be going through some, changes as far as policies and procedures. And they, anyone on the call can definitely update you guys on that specifically. And they'll give us an update to the city and CityNet on what those changes will be with policies, whether, drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. We've had a case conference, this week, with them, just to be able to make sure all the rules and expectations, specifically with the, the good neighbor policy in the area, because obviously that's usually a big concern on the east side and within that area. Just making sure at least the clients that we work with and that are staying at Path, that are not just loitering in front of that area causing concerns, and along with, an uprise with their friends or, people that are staying within that area, not staying in Path. So we do have those talks with our clients just to make sure we don't want to be a part of those numbers, because at the end of the day, we're trying to, make sure that this opportunity is always available for them. And that's a reminder, to them that, those concerns do, rise up in levels, as the more they come along, and at times can make the community feel like there's no solution towards that. So we want them to be a part of that solution, which is one, engaging in case management, going out to, areas that are not specifically identifying and being a part of the path concern sometimes. The underpass at Cacique and Milpas in that area, along with the other east side, has slowed down a little bit. And I think we all saw a little uprise during the rain, but now the weather is starting to change up and get a lot better, so that they're not congregating as much in those areas. So we have seen that.
Thanks, Al.
And I'll pass it along to SETI for our surf team that's been doing some outreach in that area as well for you guys.
Hi there. For the surf region, this week we focus on making contact with our clients and offering shelter. We also consistently checked in with our clients, the surf clients at PATH, and work collaboratively with the case managers there to ensure we're working towards getting them document ready and working towards housing and other options there.
And just for any community members who might be new on the call today, sorry, can you just explain to everybody what the surf contract entails?
Yeah, definitely. The surf contract is we do outreach along the corridor, which would be along the railroads and the freeway, and we offer our outreach contacts, shelter, and resources. Whatever we have to offer, we offer them.
Thank you, appreciate it. And we can swing it over to Good Samaritan, if you can share any East Side updates.
Morning, everyone. We have been continuing our efforts to go out right now. One of the things that we're really focused on this week is getting our clients to be document ready. We are trying to get people into housing as best as possible. And I think that one of our biggest barriers is getting people document ready for that purpose. We focused, I believe, our Monday and Tuesday into really, we have taken the time to anyone who is 61, who will be 62, but is currently 61. We took our entire caseload that was of age and we applied to the Housing Authority in Solving, because they have a new apartment complex coming up soon. So which was a pretty big task. So we did that countywide for all our clients that definitely would struggle, with housing in Santa Barbara and the market, rates with that. So it opened at 10 a.m. and we had like a lineup of all our tablets. At like 9:55, we were ready with social security numbers, signed ROIs. We went down the list in every county. So that was a really big focus for us on Monday and Tuesday. So we did all of that all Monday and then did the last of them on Tuesday. That we couldn't find those clients that did sign our ROIs for us. So that was a really big task because we have quite a big caseload countywide. And then the rest of the week, we've just been going out and getting people document ready. So that's pretty much it. That's our focus this week. I was gone for about a day and a half with a family emergency. So I'm glad to be back and, get my feet on the ground.
Great, thanks, Anais. I don't see Odin on the call. I don't know, Giovanna, if you're able to share any updates about what he's been working on this week in terms of outreach. If not, we can go to safe parking.
Sorry, yeah, I'm not able to provide updates. I'm just here to listen in today. Thank you, though.
Thank you. So I see we have Deborah Hamrick from Safe Parking on the call. Deborah, would you be willing to provide an update about what Safe Parking has been doing in the Eastside region recently?
Yeah, it sounds great. And I wish it were more recently. We've been moving. I think everybody knows that. And we are in our new office now. all of our programs are under one roof. So if you go to the Creo office or the State Street office, you're not going to find us. We are at 530 East Montecito Street, corner of Montecito and Calle Cesar Chavez. And you're welcome to come by. It's a great office, and we're going to be able to host a food bank and many things here. I did, and prior to that, I was on vacation. But when I returned, I noticed a couple of emails from Marburg over there in front of Cacique. And so that's actually what I've had the chance to do this week, is go out twice and make contact with people living in their vehicles there, and just noted that they're going to need a little time. Their vehicles aren't registered, so we're going to need to assist with some money, and talk to a couple of people who were in their cars but not living in their vehicles. They were just simply there to hang out with the residents of PATH, and that's, you know, that they were legally parked, and I mean their vehicles were included, but that's just something that, you know, it's legal, right? And they didn't seem to be causing any trouble, just hanging out and visiting. So that's kind of the only thing I've had the chance to do this week. So starting next week, we'll be back on our regular schedule of everywhere from White Murphy to the waterfront and all up through the parks and through Cacique and the rescue mission area. We're actually really close to the rescue mission now, but I appreciate the emails a lot. Keep sending them. De La Guerra Street. I was out there again as per the request, and that, you know, I've requested once again to the police department that they remove those abandoned vehicles that have been there for months. And they said they'll remove them within 72 hours, but you know, this is my second request. So yeah, please keep sending us places you'd like us to check, but please put the time of day that you saw people there so that we don't miss them. Thanks.
And Deborah, would you mind putting your contact info in the chat?
Do that right now.
Thank you. So with that, let's open it up for any community members or residents to share if you have any concerns about the Eastside neighborhood. Go ahead, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. Thankful to see all your faces this morning. We've noticed a considerable, actually, I was going to get off topic. Never mind. It's an Eastside issue, but it really isn't appropriate for this conversation. So never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
No worries.
I apologize.
No, you're good. I do see a few names I don't recognize on this call, and so I'm not sure if you're community members or not, but we do want to open it up if you have any questions or any issues you want to raise. And I see Deborah has put her contact info in the chat there. While we have a minute, maybe Joao, would you mind? Joao gave a really helpful presentation on Wednesday about reporting encampments and specifically about what actually constitutes an encampment. Would you mind sharing just that information? I think it's helpful for our community members as they work on reporting these issues. Sorry to put you on the spot.
No problem, Landon. Okay, can you guys see the screen? Perfect.
Yeah.
So the city does have a municipal code on camping, but there's certain elements that, you know, define camping. It's not necessarily just a person standing outside, say, Calle Cesar Chavez with, you know, all their property, or a person sleeping on the floor. That doesn't fall under the elements of camping. So the elements are, they have to have a tent, a temporary shelter like a tarp, cardboard box, something that's providing them shelter, and the use of a non-city designated cooking facility. So like those propane burners that we see out there. So that's what the city defines as camping: temporary structure and a non-city designated cooking facility. So those are the elements, and with those elements, we're able to enforce on that. So anyone just standing outside with their property is just a person standing outside with their property, and we are not able to enforce on that. So those are the things that fall under encampments. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that I could clarify?
So with that information in mind, Joao, if someone sees an individual who is sleeping on the street or in a public right of way, that would be reported in the form that says individual in need instead of the encampment link?
It could be, yes, individual in need. And if a person does, put it as an encampment, we still go out there, we see if it fits the elements, and if it doesn't, we go and we offer services, see if they would like a bed, a path, or shelter. We still do that first and foremost. And then if they deny, then we wish them a good day and we just keep going. It doesn't fall under the elements, but we do gather their information and we pass it on to Liz Stotts, and she will follow up.
Thank you. We have a question in the chat if you're able to share these slides with some of the service providers so they can share with staff.
Yes, I can share them. Who is that, Anais? I will email you, Anais.
Thank you. Other community member concerns. I have another question, maybe then for Liz or Joao. If you're able to share an update about the labor line area near the rescue mission as to what the next steps are there.
Yes, actually, next week, we are sandblasting the area. We're putting a anti-graffiti coat on all the planters, everything there. We're adding new trash cans, and then the following week on Monday, I believe it is Monday the 1st, the labor line will open back up to the public.
Great.
So I guess just real quick, since we know that May 1st is coming on, definitely an area for outreach workers to keep track of that area to make sure people aren't settling in again. Then it is to ensure that it is being utilized only for labor line purposes. So it'd be good to have everybody have a heads up.
Yeah, I'll definitely be able to give our team the heads up on that this week.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chris. Did you have a question?
I was just about to put it in the chat. Is there a reason, Joa, that the trash can was removed in front of path?
I'm actually unaware there was a trash can that was removed from up there. I could go check today. I could talk to one of my colleagues. She's in charge of that. And if it was removed, it was probably for refurbishment, and we have another one scheduled coming in. Usually takes a few days. So it was either damaged or it was taken out, but we can have one put in next week.
Sweet. Thanks.
We have a few new people who joined the call in the last few minutes. This is our time for any other community member questions or concerns if anyone wants to share anything. right. Seeing none at the moment, we did record this meeting. So for those of you who may have missed the first few minutes where we had the updates, we will put the YouTube link up on our in our email blast so that you can go back and review that later if you like. But if there are no other questions, then we may end the community member portion early today. Yes, Chris. Oh, no, she was waving goodbye. All right. Thank you to our community members. We will, the rest of us will stay on this call to discuss clients.